we are going to go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. EagleMortgageCompany.com is where you can find them online. If you want to find them in person, 114th and Davenport Street. But no matter where you find them, they'll help you get a loan. FHA, VA, conventional loans, they do all of that. And the housing market, still very busy, still very robust. If you want to join that game, you want to get a pre-approval letter from Eagle Mortgage. So go talk to one of their mortgage brokers, and they'll take care of you and get you started down that path towards the next house.
The great thing about Eagle Mortgage is they'll help you get a loan, but you won't be alone.
I think you just created a new tagline for him, Trent.
No charge, Holly.
EagleMortgageCompany.com. Well, a couple things we have on the news docket today. First of all, you may recall the Nebraska legislature passed a bill which would provide $335 million in ARPA money, recovery money from the pandemic, for North and South Omaha and other economically depressed or stressed communities in Lincoln or other parts of greater Nebraska. And it came out this week that the first money from that $335 million are going to go to some projects in Omaha. $60 million would go to a yet-to-be-announced industrial park. Well, I say yet-to-be-announced, the location is yet to be announced, but it would be near Eppley International Airport. We already have a lot of industrial stuff up there, but there has been quite a bit of talk about developing more industrial components, and I think the thought there is it would provide good jobs to the adjacent Northeast Omaha quadrant, where unemployment is higher than other parts of the city. So we're thinking that construction could begin as early as late this year, but the site has yet to be named, so who knows, that might take a little bit longer. Also, then about $20 million in affordable housing located in various parts of Omaha. So nothing concrete in terms of a location there, but it looks like the wheels are turning for some of that $335 million. Trenton, we've got a new section of the Grow Omaha newsletter.
Oh, yeah.
And this newsletter comes out, if you don't get it, just so you know, it comes out every Thursday afternoon, and you can get it a couple different ways. One, you can join the thousands and thousands of people who have it emailed directly to them. If you want to do that, just send an email to news@GrowOmaha with your email address and say newsletter in the subject line. Or you can read it online, growomaha.com. Either way, last week, we launched a new section called Upcoming Events in the Metro, and we've partnered with Vesta. By the way, you can find out more about them at eventvesta.com, but they're an online company that provides all sorts of information and interactive capabilities related to events, conferences, philanthropies, entertainment, social events.
And they help
going
promote
on.
your event and market it.
Yeah, it's a really cool company. Anyway, they're providing the content to it, so thanks to Vesta. But it's on the Grow Omaha newsletter, and each week, we've got 5 to 10 events that are pretty much hand-picked for Grow Omaha listeners and readers. And they could be social events, entertainment events, business events. At any rate, we keep adding to that newsletter, and this is an exciting new addition right here.
Yeah, and I want people to know, I had people come up to me this week and say, hey, we love your newsletter, we love your show, but we're not getting the weekly newsletter. And if you go to growomaha.com and go to the newsletter, and you opt in, all you do is you put your name and your email address in there. Just as an extra safety precaution, in your Outlook, add to somebody's contact information. Just add news@growomaha.com. And what happens is, even though we do our best to get it to everybody, because we have to send 12,000 plus emails, sometimes it goes into spam folders. But if you put that email address, news@growomaha.com, it'll help filter through all the other stuff and give you something that you could really use. It don't cost nothing. And it's very informative. We've had great feedback on it, and we thank our peeps out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you letting everyone know that, because we probably get like 10 emails a week saying, I'm not getting the newsletter. And then we contact the people and say, hey, make sure you add news@growomaha.com to your approved senders list, and then it fixes the problem.
And I try not to send things back saying you get what you pay for, because it's free. and they don't appreciate that.
Well, we're proud to have it for free, and we want people to read it. So, hey, a couple of rankings have come in lately for Omaha, and these are pretty cool. Let's share these. Well, one for Omaha and one for Nebraska. First of all, Omaha is ranked number 20 on Livability's Best Places to Live in the U.S. for 2022. Livability examined 2,300 cities, not metro areas, cities, based on 50 data points. And Omaha ended up being the largest city to make the top 100. Now, there are larger metro areas like Minneapolis, Salt Lake, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati are larger metro areas, but Omaha is actually bigger than all of those cities, by the way.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool.
Bigger than Miami.
Yeah, Omaha's bigger than Miami, bigger than Minneapolis, Omaha's bigger than Orlando even. Omaha's bigger than Oakland, California. But, of course, those markets are larger. At any rate, Omaha was the largest city on the list. So the top three: Madison, Wisconsin, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Rochester, Minnesota. Apparently, they like Big Ten country. Wisconsin, Ann Arbor, and well, I guess Minnesota. Not Rochester, but Minnesota is Big Ten country. Other cities from our region: Overland Park, Kansas was number 5. Just cherry picking a couple of them here. Minneapolis, number 6. Sioux Falls, South Dakota was 38th. Lincoln was 54th. Des Moines, Iowa, number 90. Our part of the country was well represented as a darn good place to live.
And whenever we're not on one of these lists of the top of the top of the best, just remember that 37% of all statistics are made up.
Why the hell would we not be on one of these lists?
That's true.
Okay.
Those are the ones that are made up.
Exactly. So now looking at the state of Nebraska, CNBC has ranked Nebraska number 7 on its list of the 10 best places to live in 2022. So top 10. Number 1, Vermont. 2, Maine. 3, Hawaii. 4, North Dakota. 5, Minnesota. 6, Washington. 7, Nebraska. 8 was a tie between Oregon and New Jersey. And then number 10, our neighbors to the east, Iowa.
Good for them.
And one last thing we want to cover in the news today would be the NAI NP Dodge second quarter market report. So we have some data for conditions in the Omaha real estate market at the end of the second quarter, which would have been right about at the beginning of July, the end of June, right? So the office market in Omaha at the end of the second quarter has a vacancy rate of down to 8%. And given all of the work from home and other economic challenges and all that sort of thing, and everyone talks about how office is the most stressed part of commercial real estate, 8% is pretty low.
It is. And I think, do you know whether that includes space on the market for a sublease?
I don't know if sublease is included or not. And that is a good question. My hunch is it does not. We get the information from our good friends at CoStar, who do an outstanding job of providing. They're the best commercial real estate data provider in the country. So we know it's really reliable. But get a load of this. Absorption over the past year was at 700,000 square feet.
So that's the amount of office space that gets absorbed that becomes occupied that wasn't occupied.
Yeah, so like 700,000 square feet more office space occupied now than a year ago, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good way to say it. Okay, now let's look at the retail world. Vacancy is now down to only 5% of retail space.
See, that's impressive too. A lot of people say, "Oh, retail's just getting slammed." And I think office space is more suspect. I think there's a lot of it, and companies don't know what to do, and people are talking. Everybody's talking about hybrid. We have this, we're in the office for 3 days, and we're at home for 2 days, and we're remote, and we're working out of our car, or we're working out of scooters, or whatever.
You talk about retail space. If you're talking about retail space occupied by apparel stores, yeah, it's probably been tough. If you talk about retail space that was traditionally for department stores, tough. But I think one of the reasons why retail space is so low is that retail space might be the ultimate space because of the ultimate form of real estate because it's public facing and is very versatile. So in other words, you can turn a dead Kmart into indoor climate controlled storage or a church or something like that.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's allowed retail space to be low, even though we have seen the demise of a lot of traditional retailers over the last several years. All right, industrial. This is smoking hot, muy caliente, as it always has been. Industrial vacancy down to 3.1%. So if you want to find industrial space, you better talk to someone like Trenton because it's not easy to get. There's not a ton of it out there, even though we've built an awful lot of it. In fact, I think I have a little piece of information about that. More than 1.9 million square feet of industrial spaces under construction right now. The total market size that CoStar considers for Omaha industrial data is 103 million square feet.
John Meyer and I just put 67,000 square feet of industrial space right at Millard Lumber. So right in the area of 132nd and L Street, 7 dock doors. It's got a nice office space in there, and it's 67,000 square feet, and it's really high ceilings, like 26 clear, if not higher, and excellent rate. When you go out to new construction, there's some big industrial buildings going up out west, but the taxes are high, the operating expenses are high. Yeah, you get state-of-the-art space, but it's so expensive. And so right there next to Millard Lumber, great landlord, great location near the interstate. Call Trenton Magid or John Meyer at NP Dodge, and we'll be happy to take care of you.
And that's your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.